global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
It is now time for us to take action because you can see where it brought us to.
Hello and welcome back to our channel. Indeed, 2027, all politicians, Nigerians will be on deck. All hands will be on deck to see how they can rescue Nigeria from the issue of corrupt leadership. As we speak right now, both PeterObi, you're going to get to see the video as well. PeterObi took time and explained, literally, should I say, denying any coalition that will remove power from Tinubu, but this time around, the person who is speaking and speaking loudly and channeling all his energy on Nigerians to act now, it begins now. It's none other than the former super minister during the Buhari tenure. I'm talking about Ameachi, Rotimi Ameachi, as he's giving a charge to Nigerians. We're going to get to hear all of that. Before we do that, kindly subscribe to our channel. Let's start with what Rotimi Ameachi is saying, because for a while now, he has been silent, but he can't keep his calm anymore. As former River State Governor Rotimi Ameachi has called on Nigerians to take an active stand in defending their vote and ensuring credible leadership in 2027 election. Now, speaking during a panel discussion at an event in Abuja, Ameachi stated that power is not freely given and must be fought for, warning against complacency in the face of political challenges. He made reference to the election of Malam Ibrahim Sakaru as governor of Kano State as a case study where mass mobilization and people's resistance played a critical role. The only way Sakaru became governor of Kano State was because people lined up. When they asked, how many people are there? They said over 500,000. No, I won't kill over 500,000, announced Sakaru, he recalled. Drawing a parallel with Ghana, Ameachi noted that popular resistance also influenced the election of the country's last president. You are talking and abusing people. Nobody has power and will give it to you, not even me. If you want a pastor as president, go and get one. The politician is there in Nigeria to steal, maim, and bring down and remain even in power. If you think Tinubu will give it to you, you are wasting your time, he stated. Ameachi also shared insight from his role in leading the APC to unseat the PDP in 2015, citing the resolve of the party's leaders and their readiness to confront any opposition. And according to him, former President Goodluck Jonathan conceded defeat when he that the APC was fully prepared to resist any attempt to undermine their victory. Power is never given. It must be fought for. If you are not ready to fight, don't expect change, Ameachi said. Let me allow you to watch the video. Here a similar message, but this one very powerful, coming from PeterObi. He has not spoken in this fashion before. He's not even talking about power grabbing. He's insisting and calling on Nigerians, and now also is the time to act. Things must change. Democracy cannot continue in this fashion, and this is the time it must happen. Let's watch the video. We'll come back for more with my colleague.
Whatever happens with democracy affects the citizens. It affects their daily living. It affects the future of their children. So we must all now get involved to make it work, because you know it is not working in Nigeria today. What's your comment? Whether we are going to do coalition or not, let's talk about the future of the country. Because often we abandon the country and what we need to do, talking about power grab. I'm not interested in any coalition that is for purpose of taking power. It is about discussing Nigeria. How do we care about securing Nigeria? How do we care about the common person in Nigeria? How do we care about our children being in school? That is the most important thing for now.
So that's the issue of monetization of politics.
That's what we need to remove. Because what you are doing is that you're encouraging stealing of public money, because if I steal it and use it to win an election, then I get all the powers and everything, including immunity, not to be prosecuted. So we must stop it. That is what's driving the stealing.
Is it going to address the problem of the political party opposing candidates?
People should know that democracy is about the will of the people. People must be in charge. It is about serving the people, and that is most critical.
Excellency, the issue is that these conversations have been on for quite a long time,
It is now time for us to take action, because you can see where it brought us to. We now live in an insecure country. We now live in a country that is every day breeding poverty. People are suffering. So many people don't know where the next meal will come from. We now live in a system where on Friday, I visited, on day of celebration of education, I visited 15 schools where children don't even have a lab, talk less of one computer. That's what democrats have brought to us. And we must deal with it head on.
How will you say this administration is doing? How will you rate this administration?
It is for you to rate it by going to market. I don't need to rate it for you. It is for you to rate it. If you go to market, then you rate it yourself.
Your Excellency, the issue of political party structures also came up during the discussion.
Very critical.
So now, how?
It's very clear what has been said, that we don't have members. We have owners of political parties. Parties should be, the core of democracy should start from the political parties, where people respect and know that other people exist. It is not a place where you are jacking the process for your own benefit. Thank you very much.
All right, welcome back. You've heard what Amechi said. You also heard what PeterObi said, insisting that he is not in coalition with even Atiku to come and remove Bola Ahmed Tinubu from power. And he's also not in the whole race to go and grab power. All he's talking about, Nigerians change. That the future of Nigeria is looking bleak. The children, most Nigerian children, they don't even know where their meals are coming from. It's a case of people grabbing power. It's a case of people looting and protecting their generation and their heritage. But Nigerians, the common good, the common Nigerians who ought to be enjoying the dividend of democracy are suffering. Amechi again is talking. All of them seem to have woken up from their slumber. What is going on and what's your take?
Well, I think the issue of corruption in Nigeria, or the issue of grabbing power in Nigeria, is quite a very serious issue that must not be treated with kid gloves, I must say. And it requires, I don't know why PeterObi said what he said, as much as it makes a great deal of sense, but come on, before we can strip these guys, or before we can dismantle the corrupt structure that had already been laid down, it requires synergy. It requires coming together. Without that, it's impossible. But the problem we have here is the issue of how many of such people are in Nigeria, because unfortunately the system seems to, most politicians consider the system as a paying system, consider it as a rewarding system. I don't have an opportunity of being a leader. I'm in there to still loot and, make sure that I strip everybody of, what should have been their entitlement, give it to few who are ready to give me their support. And I think that's the main system we are looking at. If you look at what most of our politicians have been doing thus far, what they do is they get a group of people, strip others of what they're supposed to give to them, give them at least 20% of it, and then use that to secure their loyalty. And those people will go around singing that song. And they try to make sure that even those people that they are giving those crumbs to, or much monies to, they have structures. And based on that, they try to make sure that structure that you have also have a thirst of that, in quote, national cake. So before you know, everybody seems to be saying the right thing about the person, not knowing that ideally, when we talk about leadership, it should be a situation whereby, in democracy, whereby everybody have a taste of it. Everybody, whether they know you or they don't know you, whether they are loyal to you or they are not loyal to you, they are supposed to have a, considering the fact that what you have at hand is not your private money, or it's not money you worked for. It is the earnings of Nigerians. It's the taxpayers' money handed over to you to manage over time. So you are supposed to use it for the betterment of Nigeria. So for you to be able to destroy this particular structure, it requires doggedness. It requires coming together. It requires synergy. And the people also needs to be fully involved in this. If you look at the situation of things in the country, you will notice that by weaponizing poverty and also picking few out of those who are facing this poverty to strengthen financially, they have been able to put a divide in the system. They notice that you are able to win the heart of most people through good works. Before you know, you start seeing them doing good works, just to make sure that, they win the heart of people back to them. We've seen that same thing play out, and they loot the coffers of Nigeria, and they call 2033, maybe, let me say 1,000 people, and they give them scholarship, in their different, professions and all of that. Before you know, he helped me or he helped, not knowing that what they have as their personal stock is far bigger than what they have offered you. So I think oneness of heart is important. We really need to fix this country. We must, number one, be ready to let go of our personal greed. Number two, be ready to synergize with everyone, especially those who have the same mindset, political mindset like you. And thirdly, we must be forceful. Because until you become forceful, what played out in 2023 is what is going to repeat itself in 2027. If we are not forceful, if we are not all out there to say we're going to get it by all means, make sure that, even those who are going to be the one announcing the result, they see knives on their throat. I don't know how to say it to make it the reason. They see the people already so aggressive to see the right thing being done. We are not going to get it, because unfortunately, the judiciary is even there. And the issue of sanitizing judiciary is another big thing, because oftentimes when you win at this order, you are able to use the people to secure what you want. How about the judiciary? So all of these are situations that it's quite troubling, I must say.
All right, let's go wrap it up. Let's meet in our comment section. What's your take? Do you have